This week in the field, color casts from your neutral density filters. Hi everyone, I'm Scott Davenport and welcome to In the Field. Happy New Year, it is 2018 and I hope you had a great new year and you have some photo resolutions that it's only the 2nd of January, so you're still sticking with them. It's funny, one of them for me is taking more time to take a shoot for myself and not necessarily document it. And it's funny because the footage I'll share with you in a little bit, it was from one of those shoots. I decided to go out just for myself. But then, as you'll see, it just turned out to be too nice not to share some of it. So before I get into that footage and the topic today about neutral density filters, I have another, maybe it's a favor to ask. I've got a bunch of footage from previous shoots, and I'm trying to decide which one to share next. So I've got 3 different outings that I still have some behind-the-scenes footage from. These are older ones, but one's from Nachi Falls in Japan, another is from Heceta Head in Oregon, and a third is, where is that from? From the Kyoto River, so the river that goes through Kyoto. And I'm curious to find out, what do you want me to share? And so just leave a comment below with one of these 3 locations, and I'll work that into one of the upcoming In the Field episodes. So today's topic really, it stemmed from this shoot. It's about noticing the color cast when I was using my 10-stop ND filter. Let me show you the footage, and I'll come back and talk about just this little phenomena I noticed. I came down here really just kind of for a shoot for myself, but this is just too nice not to share, so I'm going to grab a little footage and talk about something I'm noticing with the long exposure filters. I'm playing with those just to get a little bit of softness in those clouds up there. What I'm noticing with the long exposures, whoop, that's terrible, we can see the phone there. Let's try and look at it like this. Here's the double shot that I took. This is with the 10-stop filter, and this is without. Back and forth. Look at the warmth without with, that these filters are just cutting down a bit of the warmth there. The exposure is great, but that just tells me I gotta do a little more work in post to bring out what really is a warm orange sky. This is roughly how I'm framed up in camera. I'm shooting with the 24-70 at 70 millimeter. Minimal in the foreground, and the camera is tighter than what you see here. We're really just using that sun to kind of cut down, not quite in the middle of the Lifeguard Tower on the left and the Point Loma Peninsula on the right. And this great, cool looking, darker set of clouds just cutting right through the frame. That's really, really nice. It's really adding some drama, some, I don't know, momentum in the photo. And now it's just, I'm just gonna watch the show. This is gonna be beautiful. Well, you saw very clearly that with the filter on, the photo was cooler. Well, I should say the preview that the camera would generate, that embedded JPEG in the RAW file. Now, I'm shooting RAW, so I have the RAW file. This doesn't really impact my processing other than, mental note, the scene might be warmer than what I see in that preview. And if I'm using the preview in any way to help guide my processing, I need to make sure I warm it up more. Because it was certainly truer to life. Without the filter, the JPEG preview that the camera would create for me. And this is the first time I really noticed that much of a difference with and without the filter in terms of color. I'm not sure if it had to do with the nature of the scene. I was shooting into the sun directly. There was a lot of clouds that were bouncing that orange and yellow light around. And I will say that the color cast difference between with and without a filter got less as the sun went down. So it may have to do with direct sunlight coming into the lens. I noticed maybe 1 or 2 of the early shots had a little bit of a flare, which I would expect, pointing a piece of glass directly into the sun. But I don't think the flare had anything to do with making things cooler. If anything, I would expect it to get a little bit warmer with a flare. So really, the tip of the week is just to be aware of that. Pay attention to that with your filter system. And if you're using the JPEGs in any way to help guide your processing, you may need to adjust the color cast accordingly, either warmer or cooler, whatever you happen to notice with your filter system. That's it for this week's In the Field. I hope you've enjoyed it. And let me know what you want to see next. I had those 3 options there, Heceta Head, Nachi Falls, or Kyoto. And I want to hear from you. So tell me what you'd like me to do next in one of the upcoming in the field videos. I'll dig out that footage and share it with you. If you got other questions about photography, please hit me up. Comments on the video below. You can contact me through my website. Love to hear what's on your mind photographically. If you got particular New Year's resolutions you want to share, let me know about those too. It's always interesting to hear what other people are doing or consciously deciding to make their photography better. Well, until next time, my name is Scott Davenport, and happy shooting.